Marahay na hapon, Bicolandia, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ateneo ICTC YouTube channel. I'm Iris and I'll be your host for today's webinar. Before we start, don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more webinar updates. So let's see kung mga taga saan po yung viewers natin this afternoon. I'll be flashing some of your comments on the screen po. So tingnan natin. We have viewers from Daet Camarines Norte. Hello po, sir. Also, we have viewers from abroad, from Oman. Hello po, Ma'am Ana. We have viewers from Legazpi City, Albay. Hello po, Sir Lee. Also, we have viewers from mga taga saan pa po ba ito? Also from Dubai. Wow, nakarating tayo sa Dubai. Hello po, ma'am. So, yan. Thank you very much po for attending our webinar session today. Before we formally start, allow me to read the following guidelines. Kindly observe proper etiquette in this webinar session. We encourage everyone to participate in the comment section. Only essential questions will be entertained during the Q&A portion due to the limited time. Other questions can be noted in the online evaluation form after the session. Online evaluation form after the session will only be open until 5 p.m. today, August 10, 2020. You will receive your e-certificate shortly after the evaluation. So without further ado, let me introduce to you our resource speaker for this afternoon. Our speaker for this afternoon is a Microsoft Innovative Educator and Level 1 Google Certified Educator. He finished his bachelor's degree in elementary education, major in special education, and a cum laude at the University of the East Manila. He also finished the online courses in English for media literacy at the University of Pennsylvania and teaching using online education resources at the National Teachers College. Presently, he is a candidate for graduation in his master's degree in education, major in Information Technology Integration at the Ateneo de Manila University. At present, he is a module writer and a college faculty at the National Teachers College, where he's teaching general and professional education subjects. In terms of professional development and the love for giving back to the profession, since 2018, he began speaking and presenting in local and international conferences, actively being involved in various teaching trainings and speaking engagements in private and public schools, and recently, he conducted webinars that focused on the utilization of technology in education. He also recently published his micro-research proposal related to teaching media and information literacy, incorporating the principles of gamification and learner-centered instruction to classroom instruction. His continuing advocacy on active and meaningful learning through collaboration, gamification, and utilizing technological resources or tools in teaching will aid both teachers, learners, and other stakeholders in enriching the entire teaching learning process. Everyone, let us all welcome on screen Sir Jeffrey C. Beltran.
Alright.
Hello.
Hello. Oo. Ayun, hello. Kamusta po ang lahat? Oo. Shout out sa ating mga participants. So, narinig ko, nakabot tayo ng Dubai. And I think I know that person. Good afternoon good morning sa'yo from Dubai. Alright. Before we start everything, let's try to interact like virtual. That's one request from me to you. to our participants. Maybe sa iba sa inyo, alam nyo na itong content. Yung iba, bago pa lang. Um, let's learn together also. Okay? Sige. So, let's start. Ayan. Alright. So, siguro yung iba excited kasi may bago silang matututunan. Yung iba, webinar. Okay. Sige. I understand. Siguro most of us for quite some time, nalunod tayo sa webinars. Pero iba, pinipili natin kung yung atin na nating webinar. So, I feel you with this reaction. O yung iba, maghapon nakaupo, cause of that, webinars. Understandable. Pero we try to process what we learn from these webinars. Eh, minsan yung iba sa atin, hindi naman nag-webinar. Right now, I understand there are some of us who are in module writing already. Curating the modules right now at this very moment in time to share with you quickly. We are now in the process of converting the modules that we created from offline to online. No? And minsan, yung task natin sa work, plus the webinars that we want to attend, well, nakaka-exhaust. So we have different reactions upon attending a certain webinar. Okay lang. Okay? Sige. So, ang topic natin, focuses on these three words: learn, achieve, and play. So upon creating the presentation, the 45-slide presentation, um, I'm thinking of how am I going to discuss this in such a way that everyone could understand, even those who have the advanced knowledge about this could easily understand. So learn. So let's start first with learn. You will learn, hopefully, the students will learn from what you're about to impart to them. So basically learn. Achieve. Of course, they will achieve at certain rates, and you will achieve, well, your objectives. You will achieve that, as well as your learning targets to your learners. That will be achieved. And play. Very important ang paglalaro, aside from its benefits. And there are some students of ours who loves to play. Incorporating play, incorporating games would at least increase engagement. Okay? So later on, as we go along, let's see if these three words would make sense. Okay? So yeah. So learn, achieve, and play. Gamification and engagement tools for online learning. Okay? Gamification, engagement. Two big words, sometimes related, but let's see if they are truly related and if you can utilize them. I know there are some reservations right now. There are some questions in mind later on. Okay? Would love to answer those questions of yours. Yan. So a few instructions to our participants. We have limited time. Limitado oras natin. So use the chat function if you want to share or say something. Okay, gamitin natin yung chat. So kanina, nag-chat na rin ako sa comment section sa YouTube kanina. I quickly interact with you. So gamitin natin. Let's interact kahit virtual. Okay? I prepared a few activities also that would let us interact and use the application. So let's interact. Okay, yan po ang aking pakiusap to our participants. Let's try to make this meaningful. Okay? Let's put justice to these 45 slides. Okay? Sige. Alright. So, ito na. Let's start. Very important. I would like to start this session by asking, kamusta po kayo? Anong pakiramdam nyo ngayon? That's very important nowadays kasi with all the things that are happening, with all the reservations that we have, personal and even professional, kamusta po kayo? Try to write your answers in the comment section and we try to respond or try to recognize your reactions. Okay? So, importante yan. I would like to start with this. So, kamusta po kayo? Anong pakiramdam nyo ngayon? Okay? Sige, let's try to react muna. Ayan. Oh, ayun, may nagre-reply, okay lang po. Excited. Okay. Fine. Okay. Ayan. Okay lang. Mhm. Mhm. Sige. Okay. Tingnan natin. Okay naman po. Overwhelmed trying to multitask. Same. I feel you. I'm trying to read the comments, ha. Still bothered with the pandemic. Same. In reaction dun sa multitasking na nabasa ko, I'm also multitasking at this very moment in time. So I feel you. I'm still good though, still anxious. Same. Info overload since this morning. Relax lang po. Relax lang tayo. Challenge dahil malapit na mag-start ang pasukan. Same. Good. Challenge with the new demands, the new normal. Same. Nervous. Mhm. I feel you, ako din, nervous. Especially with the correspondence modality. Offline learning, paano yon? And medyo pressure for the opening, same. Excited. Excited din ako, Madam Cristel. Good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon po. Hello. Yan. Sige. Alright. So keep it going lang po for those who are responding. Keep it going. Alright? Ayan. So nasagot na ng iba sa inyo. Next, excited ba kayo sa darating na school year? So yung iba nasagot na to. Iba nervous. Yung iba anxious. Maraming reservations. May excited. So keep your answers going lang po. We try to react. And ito, ano yung um, inaabangan mo for this coming school year? What are the things that you are looking forward to this coming school year? Or academic year for some institutions na gumagamit ang academic year, this school year. Ano ang inyong um, inaabangan o ini-expect ninyo for this coming year, school year? May nag-i-start na. I've learned that some schools already started their classes. Iba, August 24. Meron naman September. I learned some. Tingnan natin. Still adjusting. Ayan. Apprehensive with the coming semester. Feeling great. Still adjusting. Yes, still adjusting. Always excited. Importante po ang magandang mindset in every single approach na gagawin natin. A positive mindset would really help. Happy kasi kasama ang asawa. Ngayon lang kami nagkasama na matagal. Quality time. Expecting graduation this 2021. Same. Okay naman. Sige, Mick. Alright. Sige, keep your answers going as we go along. Alright. So, for the first part, so start na tayo. So, for the first part, apologies. There's still a lecture part. Our objective for the first part is to discover the following essentials of gamification. Over the weekend, I asked some teachers who I think are already also watching right now, and nagsabi sila na medyo alam na nila, and meron din naman nagsabi na zero knowledge sila. Na-curious ako sa zero knowledge. So ano yung zero knowledge na yon? Yung isa ring wala talaga. May nagsabi sa akin, nakikita lang po namin doon sa poster, tas yun na yun. So, upon knowing that, sige, simplihan natin yung discussion. So, ito lang yung laman ng first part natin. Don't worry, may break in between. Let's see if it's applicable. So, the first part, ito, what is and what is not gamification. So, i-differentiate muna natin ano ba yung hindi gamification. Ano yung plus and minuses, the advantages and disadvantages of gamification. What are the benefits? And syempre, active learning and gamification ang magka-partner. Along with engagement, syempre lagi rin attach ang gamification sa active learning. So, yan yung naman ang first part. Alright? So, ito, as promised to you, maglalaro tayo. Okay. So, for those who can play right now, ayan, so, kindly type, ayan, join myquiz.com, tapos yung pag hining sa inyo yung code, 849982. Alright? Sige, start ko na. Okay. So, ayan. So, join myquiz.com, then, yung code is 849982. Sige, I'll be waiting for you. Laro tayo. Ayan. Sige. So, pakitype po. If you're using your browser, sige, pakitype lang po. Join myquiz.com. Then, yung code is 849982. So, kung titingnan natin, ayan, meron na. Okay. Okay. So, yan na. Sige, sige. So, meron tayong 10. So, as you can see here right now, meron tayong participants here. 12. And counting. Sige lang. Two. Keep it coming. Familiar sa akin yung mga participants. Good afternoon po. Ayan. Now, sige, habang nag-aantay tayo ng participants, yung laman itong there are questions here that will correspond to the next parts of this presentation. So, gusto ko muna malaman po yung at least may nalalaman pa or at least may knowledge pa just to gauge whatever you acquired in relation to what we have here right now. Huwag po matakot magkamali. Okay? Sige. Keep it coming. Join lang po. Okay, 41, 42. 44. Okay, 44 participants. Sige. Kung wala na po, start na natin. Ayan, 45. Umihirap. Alright. Start na natin. So, there will be 10 questions. Huwag po matakot magkamali. We will go through it afterwards. Okay? Sige po. Ayan. Nice. So, nakikita nyo yung results real time. So, nakikita nyo yung results real time. Ayan. Okay. Ito yung view ng teacher. Okay. as you can see, napapalitan siya real time. Yan. Humahabol. O, mataas. O, humahabol. Number 1 sa bridge. O, may matatapos na. Yan. Ayun, may natapos na. Ayan, may natapos na. Let's wait lang for the other participants. Ayan. So, nakikita niyo po, real time yan. Oo. Sige, tapusin na natin. Mukhang exciting. Yan. Oh. Nagdadagdagan pala ating players. Ayan. Meron tayong 64 players. Alright. Tapos na lahat. May sumasagot pa ba? Ayun, meron pang sumasagot. Mahabol. Alright. 47 out of 66. 48. So let's wait. Wow. Shout out sa mga naka-perfect dun sa ating activity. Meron. $49. 50. So nakikita nyo, real time. So habang inaantay natin, ayan. So ito yung question. So kung nakita nyo, kada question, nakikita nyo yung average time taken and kung ilan yung tama at mali per question. Nagbabago pa, real time. So nakikita nyo, ayan siya. Kada tanong, may average time taken. Alright? Okay. Mm-hmm. So, meron tayong re-reviewin maya-maya. So, dito nakikita nyo na ano yung point for clarification before you proceed to the next part. Okay? So, ayan. Wait tayo. Nadagdagan natin player 73. Alright. Okay. Oh. Ayan. So, i-end na natin. Okay. Sige, i-end muna natin siya. In-game ko na. Okay. End na natin. So, ayan. So, in-end ko na. And, well done. So, tinapos ko na muna. So, ito yun. So, after ng game, ito yung game highlights. So, you have a class accuracy, how accurate yung buong players. Ano yung pinakamahirap na tanong? Ano yung pinakamahabang tanong na sinagot ng participants sa pinakamahabang average time? Then, some interesting statistics about the quiz. So, ito siya. So, pwede mo rin i-download yung results for recording purposes, um, recording, and evidence also. Nakatabulate na yan. So, mamaya, papalitan natin yan. And then, here, overview ng bawat participants. So, kung nakita nyo, ayan. So, meron, ilan na naka-perfect? Kita natin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So, Rain, ayan, si Maxine, Ronel, and si Secret. Oh, perfect lahat. As you can see here, tama lahat. Green being the indicator that the answers are correct. Check. Red, X, mali. Okay? So, ayan. Nakikita nyo yan. Lahat. All the related statistics of the questions you will see. Ayan siya. Okay? Pwede pong reviewin yung questions. Yes. You could play again. Yes. It will be your option. Okay? So, ayan. So, yun ang ating first activity. Actually, our first application, quizzes. Okay? So, I explored the quizzes app later on. Mabalikan natin yan towards the end of our session. Okay? So, salamat for those who are participated. So, you already have an idea what will be the content. Okay? So, ayan. So, let's proceed. You will see the questions later on dito sa presentation. So here, a little explanation. So a player gets caught up in playing a game because of the instant feedback and constant interaction are related to the challenges of the game, which is defined by rules, which all work within the system to provoke an emotional reaction and finally quantifiable outcomes within an abstract version of a larger system. So kanina, kung nakapansin nyo, nakita nyo yung perspective o yung view ng teacher habang naglalaro kayo and even after. Pero habang nilalaro nyo yung game, feedback ay present, may interaction, and nakikita nyo yung scores ninyo, plus ano yung outcome, meaning tama ba o mali. So all of them, all of those elements are present during your entire experience. Okay? So that would be at least a quick introduction to gamification. Alright? So mabilis ang intro lang tayo about gamification. It can be generally defined and defined in the context of education. Meron kasi siyang general definition kasi it started hindi sa educational pa field sa corporate. And meron din siyang educational context. Okay? Yan. So, pag sinabing gamification, this is a practice of designing game-like experiences for non-game applications. Let's use the regular classroom. Ang classroom ay isang non-game environment, pero pwede kang mag-provide ng game-like experiences. Pwede. It could be with the intervention of technology or yung alam mo mga palaro sa bata na kahit chalk lang, kahit yung mga resource materials mo within your classroom, pwede yun. Okay, you are gamifying their learning experiences, pwede. Alright? It is often employed as a strategy to make user interfaces more engaging to achieve goals. So, we could use the previous experiences of yours, ito lang kanina, yung quizzes natin, as a proof na naging engaging siya. Okay? Pero we are engaged at various rates. Okay? Pero with the results, I think it serves its purpose. Okay? Yan. So, gamification in education. Paano naman siya ngayon de-define with the context of education? It does not involve students making their own games. Hindi yung gamification. Though merong lessons na gagawa sila ng applications or games, pero that's not gamification. Okay? It does not involve students making their own games. It operates under the assumption that the kind of engagement that gamers' experience with games can be translated into the educational context towards the goal of facilitating learning and influence student behavior. See? Parang ginawa lang natin ito kanina lang. Kung napansin ninyo. Ayan na siya. Ex- Exciting siya. Masaya siya. Pero nag-aaral ka. Pero yung excitement mo habang naglalaro, it could be translated into a learning experience na may enjoy mo. And your role as a facilitator would be highly emphasized. Bakit? Point for clarification, pwede kang mag-clarify sa kanila. And matutuwa sila na, pwede pala to. Sir, isa pa po, ulit pa. So, may engage sila. And they will look forward to this. Okay? Yan. So, at least, okay na tayo with the definitions of gamification, both the general and the educational. Okay? So, I hope it is clear po. Okay, next tayo. What are the different game elements? Alam natin na may mga iba't ibang elements ng laro na nagpapa-excite sa atin, na hinahanap-hanap natin kaya hindi siya nalaro. That could be incorporated also in the classroom. Okay? So, yan. So, let's use your experience kanina habang naglalaro. Narrative, meron yung questions, immediate feedback, yung check, yung X, yung memes, di ba? Yes, masaya siya, it's fun. Scaffolded learning, dito papasok yung role ng teacher as facilitator. Scaffolded learning. Alright? Progress indicators. Nakita niyo naman kanina, I could see the progress of each of the players. And you also, in your screens. Social connections. Pwede. Kasi yung app na to, quizzes kasi could be integrated in the Google Classroom for those who are using G Suites, no? Pwede. And mastery. Kasi you could play the game again, that topic again. You could play it if you want to go for mastery. And player control. So ano po yung player control? Yung player control, at your own pace. Kung napansin nyo, iba-iba ng start. May mga sumasali pa. Hindi kayo sabay-sabay. So mamaya, may isa tayong tool na gagamitin na makikita natin yung difference ito in terms of player control. Alright? So these are the elements. So I hope clear po sa atin that these are the elements na nakita natin kanina na elements ng game na pwedeng i-incorporate sa classroom. Alright? So now, after knowing or after learning what is gamification, it is appropriate to learn what is not gamification. Ano ba yung hindi? Okay? Gamification is not trivialization of learning. Hindi. Never. Hindi siya bago. Matagal na siya. Sa corporate field siya nag-start bago sa pagtuturo. Hindi siya perfect for every learning situation. That's very understandable, especially with the learning modalities that we have right now. For our foreign viewers dito kasi sa Pilipinas, mayroong dalawang learning modalities. Dalawa sa marami. We have the modular or the correspondence and the online, or some would say flexible online. Pero online, asynchronous and asynchronous, ayan. So it's not perfect for every situation. If you have a strong internet connection and ganun din sa class, sa students mo, then you could use. Okay? Next, gamification is not competition. No. Yes, may scoring indicators ka, may progress indicators ka, pero it's not competition. Kung meron man competition, friendly yun. Pero not that competition na would lead to something else. Next, not only game mechanics, hindi lang instructions. No. Okay? It's not only game mechanics. Pero nakita nyo, even the experience ay kasama. Next, we have here, gamification is not foreign to professionals. No. As I said, matagal na siya, existing siya, ginagamit siya for engagement and fun sa atin sa pagtuturo, engagement and excitement sa pagtuturo and sa learning ng bata. Easy, it's not easy to create. May mga limitations kasi sila eh. Later on, I will explore through it. And ayan, gamification not works for everyone but aims for a lot of people. Pwede. Iba naman sa atin naglalaro, okay, pero yung excitement habang naglalaro, it could be translated into a meaningful learning experience. Okay? And it aims for a lot of people. Marami. 60 nga lang tayo kanina, pero it could go way further. At least 500. 500 participants ang quizzes. Alright? So ito, these are the things that would explain that that is not gamification. Okay? Kung may questions, paki-comment lang po, then our host will at least entertain them later on. Ayan. Next, what are the benefits of gamification? Na-experience na, na-lecture na. Ano na ngayon yung benefits na? So, incorporating your experiences a while ago and later on, ayan, if successfully implemented, okay? If successfully implemented, gamification, you feel, or the learners feel, ownership. Natuto ko dito. Nilaro namin to. Naalala ko gamit to eh. Ayan. It feels ownership. Diba? And if i-connect natin sa isa pang importanteng concept in the field of education, which is formative assessment, isa to sa goal. Diba? Ownership. Self-directed learning. Yan. Okay. Next, more fun in the classroom. Oo naman. In my personal experience, I've been using these tools for 2 to 3 years already. And very useful. It is very useful, masaya. So I need to explain to them na hindi lagi, baka maumay kayo. Pero from time to time, lagyan mo ng ganong activity, they would appreciate it. And there will be a time that they will conduct their own review activity using the tool. Pwede yun. Okay? Next, learning becomes visible. Paano pong visible? Nakita nyo lahat ng indicators. Kung ikaw yung teacher, you could see the results. Alam mo kung anong dapat linawin bago ka mag-proceed, so you could see. And then, ito, for your own recording, gather and record feedback. Another keyword right here, feedback. Very important na feedback. Ayaw mo na clueless ang learners at ikaw rin ayaw mo ng clueless ka sa kung kamusta yung learners mo. That would be addressed here. Okay? So these are some of the benefits if successfully implemented. That's the question there. If successfully implemented. Alright? Yan. Next. Students may uncover intrinsic motivation for learning. Intrinsic motivation galing sa loob. Innate. Alright? Innate motivation sa sarili. Sabi natin kanina here, they own their learning. They feel ownership. Therefore, intrinsic motivation ang susi doon. And students are more comfortable with gaming environments. Meron sa isang classroom for sure. Kung paano kung hindi siya komportable doon? Paano kung may nape-pressure? I-explain mo sa kanya na ganito yung system. Yan, maintindihan niya yan. Then, sooner or later through activities, magiging komportable din yung bata o yung learner. Okay? So those are some of the elements, benefits of gamification. Na I think na-experience naman natin kanina na. Okay? Ito. Active learning and gamification. Okay? Active learning and gamification. For gamification to be successfully implemented, dapat si teacher alam ang active learning, alam na dapat learner-centered ang kanyang classroom. Hindi lagi teacher-dominated. Alright? These two can join forces in creating a learner-centered class. True. Okay? And so let's define first active learning, any approach to instruction in which all students are asked to engage in the learning process. See, any approach to instruction, no, na dapat maging engage kayo. Sa physical classroom, kaya to. There are I think, one of the reservations siguro ngayon is paano mangyayari to with the current context that we have. Okay? Sinabi naman natin kanina na hindi perfecto sa lahat ng sitwasyon. But the question is, how would engagement be possible? Okay? So ito meaning ng active learning, and if successfully implemented, active learning, no, you explain the rationale to the students. Explain mo kung bakit. Importante yun. Sir, paano po yung explain rationale to the students? Pwede siguro yung tinatawag na sasabihin mo muna yung objectives ng lesson mo. Yan. Pwede yan. They would know. And kung explain mo na yung objectives at gusto mo pang explain yung instructions for the activity or game, no problem. Much better. Next, choose meaningful activities or questions. Alam nga naman lagay ka lang nilagay ng questions. Siyempre, alignment, incongruencies, waving at you. Tingnan mo kung ano yung talagang relevant. Na even yung hindi nagsasalita sa klase mo would understand, would participate in your activity. Next, siyempre, ang foundation ng isang learner-centered classroom, teacher as a facilitator. So, develop a facilitating approach. Okay? And then, gather and record feedback. Importante yan. Gusto mo bigyan ng quick feedback about their performance, meron ka na. Ipaprocess mo lang sa kanila para maunawaan nila and ma-appreciate nila. Okay? Oh, okay. Any questions po? Kung may questions, comments lang muna. Then, maglalaro na pala ulit tayo. We're halfway there. We're almost there. Okay? Sige, tingnan natin kung merong questions. I would love to look. Ayan. Tingnan ko lang muna ha. Kung may gusto mag-break, sige, 5-minute break tayo. Konti. Yan. Okay. Sige. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. Yan. Sige. Alright. So, laro tayo ulit. Siguro. Alright. Ayan. So, for our next activity. Ayan. Sige. So, here, for the next part, this is part 2. Okay? So, part 2 na tayo. We're now at part 2. For part 2, I would love to know if you have something in mind. So, here, naka-isang app na tayo. Which is Quizzes. Ito yung pangalawa, Kahoot. I think familiar kayo dito. Marami silang changes na ginawa. Let's explore them later on. Okay. So, yan. I'm just waiting for the players. Ayan. Sige. Ayan. Just wait. Ayan. Sige, meron tayong 3 players. Naka-flash pa rin po dito yung ating code. Ayan. Don't worry. Sige, antay lang tayo. 16 players. Sige. Yan, 37 players. Yan, 39 players. Okay. May sound siya. Let's wait for some more. Ayan. Go ahead. Forty-six. 47. Sige lang. 49, 50. Alright. 52, 53. Sige lang po. 58 players tayo. Sixty-one. Sige, go. 62, 63. Yeah. 2 minutes more. Okay, 2 minutes more. Sige lang. Join. Yan, 69 players. Go ahead. Tuloy lang. Seventy-one players. Sige po. 73. Keep it coming lang po. Yan. In a while, start tayo. Don't worry, mas maiksi ito. Yan. Don't worry. Kung kanina 10, mas maikli lang to. Pero more of the engagement process tayo. Tapos, try to compare yung quizzes dito sa Kahoot. May mga changes silang ginawa over the time. Explore natin siya maya-maya lang. Pero, for those who are using this app before, mayroon mga nabago. Right? Okay? Alright. Sige, start na tayo. 76 players, so let's start. Laro ulit tayo. Okay? Yan. Okay. Okay. See? So review natin to. Since the question is since the questions here are too short than the previous app, so let's review them one by one. So according to studies, student engagement has not been linked to improve achievement, persistence, and retention. Lima nakakuha ng tama out of 76. Okay. 7 yung sumagot ng true. Siguro hindi nila nabasa tong not. Nako, marami na pong nabiktima ng ganyan when I use this particular tool, hindi binabasa na maigi ang questions. And they have justifications why. So later on, perhaps may reasons bakit nagmamadali sumagot. Alright? Ooh. Okay. So nakita natin may scoreboard din. Ha? So siguro ngayon, you have your comments already. So mamaya, lagay nyo lang sa comment section. Alright? Next. No. Ay, mali. Okay, my bad. My bad for this. My bad. Here's one, um, at least one observation pag ginagawa yung ganitong activity. Kindly double check the questions. Double check the questions. Okay. Oh, tama pala. Alright. So, kung babasahin natin yung questions, the TPACK framework was developed for teachers to effectively disengage students with the help of technology. Oh, I thought di ko napalitan. Ibig sabihin, 28 yung naniniwalang ginawa ang TPACK para hindi matuto ang bata gamit technology. Alright. 16 ang nagbabasa ng questions. Okay, okay. Pero yun nga, break tayo dun sa reminder. Kindly review the questions. Alright? Review the questions kasi baka kayo rin magkamali. Malito rin kayo. Alright? So, yeah. Next. Yeah, so nakita nyo nagpapalit kagad yung scoreboard real time. Ito yung isa sa mga changes na ginawa ng Kahoot. Mas naging accurate sila. Alright? Next. Without careful planning and blank, technology can promote disengagement to learners. Interesting siguro yung options. Okay. Okay. Sound pedagogy. Yes. Expound natin mamaya sa presentation sa part 2. Pero I understand but may sumagot ng internet connectivity. Very understandable. I know. Kaya ko actually nilagay ng option dun. Okay. Oh, tapos makikita nyo dito, highest climber. Ayan, nakikita nyo sino pinakaumangat sa players. Alright? Next. Ayan. Question number 4. Nandito yung question sa ibabaw ha. Ayan. Just in case. Disengagement. Alright. Sabi ko na eh, may dahilan bakit ko nilagay itong mga options na to and I'm loving the results. Nakakatuwa yung results. Though siyam lang nakakuha ng answers, I know the options are close together in a way na connected sila pero alam natin sa multiple choice there's only one best answer. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kita nyo, napapalit yung scores real time. Question number 5. Engagement. Yes, they employ excitement within the learning community. Yes, if entertain sila, energetic sila. Pero we're talking about engagement. Alright? See, ang gaganda ng results. Though, okay lang po magkamali. Walang problema. Alright? Oh, same people. Okay. Okay. Second to the last. Oh, ayan. Emotional. So later on, we're going to discuss at least those three levels of engagement, of student engagement in a quick manner. Don't worry. Pero emotional yan. Yes, may psychological factor din sa bata. Spiritual din. Pero we're talking about emotional engagement later on, which process them. Okay? Ayan. Mm-hmm. Ito pinakamahirap na tanong. Hirap yan. I'll explain later some challenges upon making these questions. Don't worry. Blue muna. Okay? Blue, yung option ng blue, so if we're going to explain each of the options, if I remember it right, Bruner is for spiral curriculum, if I'm not mistaken. Possible is for meaningful learning. Cratwall, yan. If we're going to eliminate, ang matitira lang would be green and red. Right? Alright, so later on, I'll explain bakit nandito tong question na to. Alright. So, tingnan natin. Oh. So, yan. So one of the changes in Kahoot is this. So yan, dati plain lang yan, pero yan na siya. So shout out sa mga first, second, third, fourth, fifth natin hanggang 76. Hanggang 76, alright? So pag click ko tong next, you will see your results. Okay. Yan. Ooh. So meron din siyang ano ngayon. One of the new features of Kahoot here is meron na rin siyang statistics. Though kanina, kung napansin nyo sa quizzes, mas specific yung um, um, statistics niya. Mas madaling hanapin, mas madaling i-process. Dito, ayan, 7% correct. Okay. So makikita rin naman yung percentage ko na nakakuha ng tamang answers. So, ayan. Then, you could see here, you could view the full report. So, you can download it also. You can get the feedback of playing game. Okay? You can play the game again. So, ayan. So, siguro by this time, you could see your results in your screens. Akin itong screen na ito. Sabi ng teacher. Okay. So, yan. So, you could now compare the two applications, their advantages and disadvantages. If you have your, if you want to share experiences, sige, lagay nyo na po sa comment section. Later, we will read them. Oo. Alright. So, let's now proceed with the next part. So, ito, kung kanina medyo wala pang knowledge, this time, i-reinforce natin siya. So, disengagement. Okay? So, disengagement, oo, nakakalungkot, pero yes, it happens. I know, it's very sad kasi we prepare everything, pero nakaka-disengage pa minsan. Disengagement has a profound effect on student learning outcomes and cognitive development. May epekto sa pagkatuto ng bata in general, and it's a predictor of dropout in both secondary schools and higher ed. Ayaw na nila, wala na. Okay. So, ito yung according to some researches. And sa webinar din na natin ko before about this. Yan yung sinabi nila. Okay? Meron siyang epekto talaga sa learning outcomes. And kung naalala nyo ngayon yung questions, ano ba yung mga pangunahing dahilan? What are the factors? Without careful planning and sound pedagogy, careful planning, planuhin mo lahat. Hindi ka lang basta maglalagay ng ganitong tool. Hindi, ito na yun. Okay? Hindi. Plano mo na maigi. Diba, laging sinasabi before na begin with an end in mind. I think that is very applicable in this time and day kasi we plan everything despite the learning modalities that we have. Alright? Technology can promote disengagement and impede rather than help learning. Oo, hindi mo plinano, alam ng bata. Kapag hindi mo plinano ang lessons mo, alam ng bata. And alam ng mag-o-observe if ever. Or if you're going to be very technical. Even the learners know if you plan your lessons or not. That's how intelligent they could be. Yan. Okay? Now, ano matutulong ng educational technology or your knowledge about technology integration in solving the problem of disengagement, or if not solving, lessening the occurrence of it. Okay? So the potential of EdTech in improving student engagement has long been recognized. True. True. It is long recognized. Kasi engaged ang EdTech is matagal naman ang present from low-cost materials up until now. With the involvement of technology. However, it's not merely a case of technology plus students equals engagement. Yes. Hindi yung, may technology ako. Ito mga estudyante ko, engage na sila. No. No, no, no. Careful planning, sound pedagogy, ikaw na facilitator, engage sila. That's in my personal observation of how they will become engaged. Okay? Considering everything. It's very important. Okay? Yan. Kung kanina, we discussed about disengagement. This time, we talk about engagement. So, kung sinabing engagement, okay, these are energy. This refers to the energy and effort that students employ within their learning community, observable by any number of behavioral, cognitive, or affective indicators across a continuum. Okay? Energy and effort. Yan yung pinaka-technical na definition ng engagement, sabi ng ibang researches, no? And observable by any number of cognitive indicators. So may indicators. Kanina pa natin nakakita yung mga iba't ibang indicators. Mamaya meron pa. Alright? Across a continuum. And, ayan, so sa dami ng researches about engagement, ano ba sinasabi nila? Napakarami yan. Napakaraming researches about engagement. Sobra. And marami pang nililink about this. Then, student engagement has been linked to improve achievement and persistence and retention. Kung sa classroom natin ginawa yung mga app kanina yung dalawa, ano kaya reaction ng mga learners natin? Kasi you would look forward to it after. No? Yan. Meron. Pero, ang tanong, will they become at least um, persistent, and would they retain the amount of learning that they would have or they would love to have? Well, that's the question, and dun papasok yung importance ng role mo as teachers. O, as a teacher, as a facilitator. Kasi, naggamit ka ng kahit anong technological intervention, okay. Pero, you would know if it's seamless or not, and if it's talagang applicable or not. And later on, towards the end, towards nearing the last part of our session, makita natin ano ba dapat yung role natin. Alam natin so far is facilitator dapat tayo, gas-gas na yun. Pero dapat. Okay? Ayan. So, upon looking for resources, no, I came across one material from a webinar. So, sinate ko naman siya. Now, may mga questions. Bakit, kailan, saan, paano, at ano ang ang mga kailangan sa student engagement. Let's start with the what. So, syempre, yung what, yung content, your subject areas, your lessons. If you are teaching in the basic education, you have the most essential learning competencies, yung slashed by 60% as per the news. Micro-learning, yung mga activities mo. Contextualization, very crucial nowadays. Paano may engage ang bata? One is through contextualization. Then, integration, well, if applicable, if integration itong virus na ito, if applicable. Okay? Then, how? The how part pertains to the pedagogy. Okay? So the how part pertains to the pedagogy, your instructional strategy, technology-enhanced teaching, and the development of 4 C's. Critical thinking, creative thinking, collaboration, and communication. If mistaken, those are the 4 C's. Alright? Applicable, kaya pa rin siya ma-develop mo yan. The question is how. And that's where you come in. Your pedagogical approach, your strategies, your techniques. So, ano ka pa rin? Hindi ka sinaset aside ng technology, you are still very important. Alright? Next, where? Saan? We talk about the different learning modalities. Online distance learning, blended learning, modular or correspondence. Diba? And communication and feedbacking. Very important, very necessary sa panahon ngayon lalo. Okay? When? Kailan? Asynchronous or yung self-paced. But I'm self-paced at their own pace. Hindi yung synchronous na ngayon, gagawa natin na lahat tayo nakatutok. Okay? Flexible modes of delivery. Flexible. Okay? And why? Bakit kailangan ito? Una, you want to develop your knowledge, skills, and attitudes, and even values ng mga bata o ng ating mga learners. Very important. Oo, sige, they will learn through a module, pero in that module, hanggat maaari, naisip ni teacher na pwede pa rin ma-develop ang knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values. Sa online naman, kailangan yung activities mo related sa topic and may opportunity for them to become engaged. Importante yun. So curation would come in also, but that's a different story. Okay? Yan. So we talk about now the 3 levels of student engagement. There are three: cognitive, emotional, and behavioral. So sa cognitive level, so these are the levels of student engagement. Sa cognitive level, the learners are eager to learn and think deeply about the subject matter. They ask challenging questions and often go above and beyond when completing assignments. Nagtatanong sila ng tipong um, higher order thinking skills, if I may use that term. Mhm. Yan. So cognitive, engage sila niyan. Pag nagtatanong sila sa'yo, yes, they're engaged to you. Yes, emotional. Students feel like they're part of the school community and happy to be there. Totoo yan. They smile, they interact positively with their classmates and look alert during your lessons. Paano kaya ngayon yan? Well, that's a continuous challenge, pero ang sagot lang natin will be the learning modalities. Through their feedback. Dito pa rin, dito ngayon makikita yung importance ng feedback sa emotional engagement as well as sa behavioral. Their response would matter. And sa behavioral, students behave and don't act out. They bring everything they need during class, follow instructions, work carefully, and participate in class discussions. Ibig sabihin, they adhere to your rules, they know what to do, and they will participate if they're required to do so. Kung hindi naman at relevant naman yung participation nila, they will still participate in a proper manner. So those are the different levels of student engagement: cognitive, emotional, and behavioral. Okay? And eto, meron pa. Another model would be yan, levels of student engagement, a continuum for teaching. Was like we have 5 levels here. So level 1, rebellion. Students refuse to do the assigned task, act disruptive, and attempt to substitute alternative activities. Oops. There might be a possibility na mangyari to in our synchronous classes if we're using the online modality. Meron. Crucial yan, pero it will now depend upon the teacher on how to manage those things. Next, level 2, retreatism. Sa retreatism, students are disengaged from assigned work and make no attempt to comply. Wala talaga. But are not disruptive to the learning of others. Ayaw nilang gawin, pero di sila makikialam. Next, students see little or no meaning. This is level 3, passive compliance. Students see little or no meaning in the assigned work. Students see little or no meaning in the assigned work. Ibig sabihin, hindi na nakikita yung connection. That's why proper implementation of the activities is very important. But expend effort merely to avoid negative consequences. Ginagawa na lang for the sake of compliance. Mm-mm. Next, ritual compliance. Okay, the work has little or no immediate meaning to students, but there are extrinsic outcomes of value that keep them engaged. Hindi kagad nila nagigets kung para saan. So, dito papasok ngayon yung pagsabi mo ng dahilan kung bakit, or explaining the rationale behind the activity that would make sense to them. And makikita nila yung pag na-realize nila yun, they will become more engaged. Alright? And level 5, authentic engagement, the one that we aim for. Students are immersed in work that has clear meaning and immediate value to them. Pinapahalagahan nila yung activity. Alam nila na, kailangan ko itong gawin. Regardless kung nasa module yan, regardless kung nasa synchronous class yan, kung alam nila kung para saan, they would do it with no question. If they will have questions, relevant pa rin yun, pero the eagerness is there. Alright? So the explanations for these 5 levels, very relevant to what will happen or for some what is currently happening. Ayan. Okay? Sige. Kung may questions, lagay na sa comments. Later, hopefully, may magtanong. Alright? Yan. So we're nearing the end, no? Yan. So after knowing, so recap lang tayo. So after knowing the technicalities of gamification, disengagement, engagement, the levels of student engagement, the last part is the pedagogical strategies. And meron na tayong dalawang applications. Meron tayong dalawa, Kahoot and Quizzes. You know already the differences. You know already the changes na explore natin maya-maya ng konti lang. Okay? What are the strategies? So, may, for sure, familiar kayo sa ibang parts na ito. Definitely. Pero, I would love to still hear or still know from you. Okay? Yan. So, Padlet tayo. Alright. So, for the next one, I'll be introducing to you the third one, the third tool, third application na pwede natin magamit, and that would be Padlet. Okay? So, meron po tayong gawang Padlet dito. Okay? So, I'll be waiting for your response. So, start na ako lang. There. Okay. So, but kindly type this particular link here, URL, sorry, for the URL. Yeah, padded.com. And then the link will lead you to this. Okay? Yeah. May brief kayo nun. Okay? Sige. So this time, I would make an attempt on how you engage your learners. Gusto ko pong malaman. No? I want to know how do you engage your learners? With or without integration of technology. How do you engage your learners? Sige. Ayan. So ito siya. If you type the link successfully, ito siya. Okay? Sige. Ayan. Oh, wala pa. Sige. We'll be waiting for your response. Mhm. Ayan. So, lilagay na sa comments natin. Ayan. Thank you sa naglagay. Ayan. Yun. I engage my learners through interactive activities. Yun. Sige po. Lagay lang. Yan. So, nakita nyo, you could see now the responses. Yung iba doon sumasagot sa isang post, yung mga gumagawa. Alright. So yan. Now, it will be more of your experiences. Ayan. Yan. So if we're going to go with the scroll with the answers, ayan, pagdating natin. So, I use students' interest, multiple intelligences. Okay. Meron naman learner profile. O if you have access, mas maganda. Through collaboration, activities and events, given interactive activities. Okay. Yan. So kung nakikita nyo po, the responses are quickly changing in real time. Though, though maraming options, no? Maraming options na pwede kayong gawin dito sa Padlet later on, you would see. Okay. Yan. Sige po, sagot lang kayo. Take your time. Yun. So, oh, nice. May picture. O, yan. So, you could also include pictures. Yan. So, salamat doon sa naglagay ng picture. Do anonymous lang yung mga nakalagay kasi either they or just click the link kung hindi sila nag-login or wala silang account. Yan. Okay? Yan. Tingnan natin ito sa isa. Yun, mas maraming response. I engage on use of different apps appropriate to their now nursing courses. Oh, nice. Simply by question and answer, by asking about pictures, making them as analogies. Ooh. Learning is like a house because it's an exit part. Nice. See, lumalabas po yung mga responses natin. Yeah. Letting the learners discover themselves through interactive activities. So, ang ganda po ng responses ninyo. Nice. These are very nice responses. Okay. Yan. Pwede naman po na sumagot dun sa isang post yan. Pwede to. The instruction is gagawa kayo ng post as your response. Pero pwede din naman to. Alright? First is setting up the mood to get their attention. Provide relevant activities through contextualization of the lesson. Yes. Tama po yan. Okay? Oo. I engage activities through activities that are developmental. Yes. Wow. So, yan. Alright. Sige, sagot na po kayo. And, ayun, may pictures ulit. Nice. Mhm. So, the reason why I chose this particular tool, Padlet, is for us to at least respond to the simplest way that we could. When I used this before for the first time, kahit yung pinakatahimik na student, matutuwa siyang sumagot. And I think yun yung purpose ng apps, tools natin for promoting engagement. No? And may naglagay pa ng picture o may naglagay pa ng post. Easy ways to, oh, nice. Nice. May nagsa-search. Yes, pwede kayong mag-search while responding. No problem yun. Mas maganda yun. And it promotes discussions also. Yan. Oh. Nice. These are very nice responses. Alright. 32. Thank you to the 32 respondents. So you can see now the 32 contributors. Okay? You can see the contributors. Yan. Alright. Sige. Mhm. Now, kung may nagustuhan kayo sa mga responses, you could like them. Yan. So it promotes also interaction. Okay? Not only you could respond, but to interact also. Okay. Sige. So, di ba nag-enjoy? Sige go. Mhm. Okay. Sige. So, balik na tayo sa presentation. We're nearing towards the end. No? Alright. Thank you po for participating. Gusto may gusto? Sige lang po. No problem. Alright. Now, Bloom's digital taxonomy. I included this. Okay. I included that particular infographic. Pinutol ko lang siya para mas madaling makita yung parts kasi baka maliit. So, I chopped the infographic into two slides. So, ito yung first part. So, alam natin na Bloom's taxonomy is created, no, not only to develop lower order thinking skills but also higher order thinking skills ng mga bata. Now, with the incorporation of technology, okay, with the incorporation of technology, applicable pa rin ang Bloom's ngayon. Lahat, sa lahat ng levels ng taxonomy. Okay? So here are some examples. So for create, let's start with the higher level first. Sa higher order thinking skills muna tayo. For creating, we have blogging, filming, ito yung mga sample activities, podcasting and directing. Okay. It involves creation. Yeah? Then evaluating, we have grading, testing, posting, and moderating. Kung napapansin nyo, still with the essence of the definition of these levels, yung activities na applicable sa kanila. Then for analyzing, we have mind mapping, surveying, linking, and validating. So kung nakikita nyo yung activities, very related pa rin without removing the sense of each of the levels. Okay? Then for applying, we have calculating, charting, editing, and uploading. Okay? So kung nakita nyo yung activities ranging from activities with integration technology to activities without. Okay? Next, we have understanding and journaling, tweeting. So, pwede mag-incorporate ang social media, pero alam mo dapat kung hanggang saan and kung tama ba yung pag-incorporate mo ng social media sa task. Kasi alam natin, question yun na tama ba na magpa-like as a form of assessment kasi yun yung laging example. Pero if you know how to properly incorporate social media in your activities, if talagang kailangan, no problem. Remembering yan, hanggang sa pinakamababa, hanggang sa lower order thinking skills meron. Bookmarking, copying, highlighting, and searching. Now, these activities would make the learner process his or her thinking skills. Walang duda yun. Pero these are some examples of activities. Marami pa kayo makikita niyan. Okay? Marami pa kayo makikita activities na under ng Bloom's digital taxonomy. So, ito ngayon si Bloom, 21st century. Ayan. Alright? So, yan siya. Huwag na natin i-discuss further, pero yan siya in its sense. Kasi we already have a prior knowledge about Bloom's taxonomy. And we know how to create instructional objectives. Alright? Sige. Next. Ito. I think you are familiar to this framework. Um, if not, this is the TPACK framework by Kohler and Mishra, if I'm not mistaken. And this particular framework explains that the teacher should be here. Ito ka dapat. Alam mo kung paano i-integrate ang technology to your approach. Technology to your approach. Alam mo dapat i-incorporate ang technology sa approach mo, sa content mo. Yan, silang tatlo. And alam mo kung paano i-incorporate ang content sa technology. All of these three parts here, you should know the interrelationship. Alam mo dapat yung tamang content dun sa pedagogy mo. Alam mo dapat yung pedagogy sa technology mo na gagamitin sa tool. Kaya nga, di ba, sabi kanina, careful planning. Diba? Dito ngayon magre-resemble ang careful planning na sinasabi. Si teacher dapat subject matter expert. Alam mo dapat tinuturo mo. Alam mo dapat yung paano siya ituro, your method, approach, technique, and strategies. Pero to enhance the experience, you should know the proper tools. Okay? And pag na-incorporate mo lahat ng tatlo, nandito ka na. Sa gitna. Ito yung pinaka-ideal spot. Meron ka na technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge. One of the frameworks na magpapaintindi sa'yo ng technology integration is TPACK. Laman siya ng maraming researches. Meron pang iba like summer framework, pero in my personal take, I would prefer TPACK as my guide to integrate technology. Okay? So yan siya. So I hope nakikita natin yung connections ng lahat ng nagagawa natin until this part here. Okay? Sige. Yan. So last part tayo. Okay. So for the last two activities, still with your response pa rin. Kayo pa rin ang bida rito sa part na to. Wala nang lectures, pero more of you. Okay? So kindly, so I'll flash it here. Ayan. So I'll flash it here for a while. Ayan. Oh, there you go. So kindly go to menti.com and then yung code is 300527. Alright? Sige. The question would appear to your screen once na-enter nyo yung code na tama. Yeah, we'll be waiting for your responses. Hmm? Yon. Okay. Yan. So, kung nakita nyo, ayan. You could see the results real time. Ayan. So, now, ang tanong is, ano ngayon yung application? So, kung kanina, your strategies, this time, ano naman yung app if in case you're using? So kung nakikita nyo habang nagpapalit siya, palit, you could see that there are some words na lumalaki. There's an explanation for that if in case hindi pa alam. Yan, so natin 25 responses. Very nice. Mhm. Mhm. Yan. So you could also see the results. Yan, kung nakikita nyo, yan. So ang pinakamalaki, if we're going to process it right now, yan, okay, we have cloud as the biggest word. Ibig sabihin, gumagamit kayo ng cloud as response. Perhaps siguro, bakit kaya cloud? Well, baka, mm, maybe perhaps, mm, yung mga apps na ginagamit nyo ay nakastore lahat ng information sa cloud. Well, I think, mhm, okay. Yan, interactive. Okay, gumagamit ng, may kita ko gumagamit ng um, may Mentimeter, digital technology, Padlet, okay. Yan, okay. Yan, okay. May nag-gamification din, may nag-Wi-Fi, okay. Sige, sige. So these are your responses. Okay, these are your responses. These are the responses of 51, 52 of you. Dito makikita sa lower part kung ilan yung sumagot. Alright? Yan. Mhm. Okay. Sige. So may ba, kung titingnan natin, kung pipiliin natin, may nag-gamification sa participants. Nice. May nag-emoji. Mhm. May nagpa-padlet. To inmate. Okay. So these now are your responses. Yan siya. So, hindi ka, kung nasa synchronous class ka, you could use this. Marami ng webinars ang gumagamit nito. Ang dali niya kasing i-navigate. No? Ang dali niya kasi i-navigate. Yan. Sige, sagot lang. Okay, may nagmo-module. Okay, may module pa rin. May design. Okay, gamification online. Wi-Fi, online storage. Okay, sige. And so these are your responses. Okay. So as you respond, may I just look at the comments here? And what's the instruction po? Mm, yun. So if I'm allowed to look at the comments here, wow, nice. Thank you if you're still engaged. Maraming salamat. Mm, alright. Okay. Alright. Sige, balik tayo dun sa Menti. Ayun. Oh, they're still answering. Sige na po. Mhm. Nice. Okay. Sige. Then, ayan. So, yun yung first part. So, we're nearing towards the last part of our presentation. So, kung i-process lang natin lahat before we proceed to the last part. No? Um, we started with gamification. We started with, we continued with the definition of gamification, the plus and minuses, what is and what is not, and then active learning and gamification, and then disengagement, engagement, some models or levels of engagement. Then now we are more of the interaction from you using the applications. Okay, using the applications, using the tools. Okay, so yeah, we are now experiencing it firsthand. You know already how it feels now to be the participant. Siguro if you will be the teacher, you will now question, um, gagamitin ko kaya to? Ayan. Okay. So I hope kahit pa paano po may takeaway. No? So for the next part naman, for the last, I think this will be the last. No? So for the last naman, for the last part, here's a new one. Okay. So ito, so here's a new one. Okay. So here's a new one right here. So what are your takeaways or your realizations? So ito po yun. So panibagong code po. Ayan. Ayan. So here's a new one. So to wrap up everything, instead of me wrapping it up, I would love to collaborate with you in wrapping this particular session up. Okay. So we wrap up together with your responses. Alright? Yan. So now, we could wrap this together. Ayan na siya. Okay? Yan. Okay. So, titingnan natin siya. Yan. Ipopause natin siya. Press enter. There you go. So, if we're going to read, no, yan, teaching learning is fun using gamification, I was able to realize that in order for our learners to be more engaged in the task given to them during teaching learning process, I need to be more innovative, creative, and imaginative of the activities to be given to them. Okay? Yan. Yan. So, pwede mo siyang lakihan, okay? Pwede mo siyang lakihan if you want to read the response. Amazing. Oh, thank you. Okay? Yan. So, this will scroll. Yan, kung nakita nyo, yan, nag-i-scroll yan kasi may bagong response. Yan. Technology will also be a part. Ayun. Learning becomes more interesting. So, see, sa inyo nanggagaling yung responses, sa inyo nanggagaling yung generalizations. I think that would make the session more um, interactive, I suppose. Yan. Sige lang. Learning can still be fun and engaging with the right tools. The word here is right. Okay? Maraming tools available. Maraming tools available. Pero the key here is the word right. Okay? Right tools. You creativity and patience. Okay? Yan, sige. Tuloy lang. Amazing. Wow. Thank you. There's a wide array of online apps. Ito. There, if I may read this, no, that there's a wide array of apps online that can be used to help engage the students in an online learning environment. Thank you for these ideas and insights. Ito pong presentation would not be successful without you responding. Yun po yung itong isang essence na tong session natin. Your response would matter. Kung napapansin niyo po, your responses would make this session run. Okay? Ayan. There are so many activities to let the students be engaged and motivated in online learning. As a newbie in these apps, I have to plan carefully with activities, which activities are suited in the lessons. And I think kahit hindi medyo bago, kahit sa lahat ng teachers, no, careful planning is the key. Careful planning is the key. Noon pa naman, game it up. If I, it makes learning more fun and interactive. True. Kung tama pag-integrate, yes, that is true. And I was able to realize that in order for our learners to be more engaged in the task given to them during the process, I need to be more innovative, creative, and imaginative. Alright. Yun. Technology will always be a part of teaching and learning. Perhaps the situation would suggest mm with the high demand, pero magkakalimutan, may part pa rin, may role pa rin si teacher in making the teaching learning process successful. Technology will always be a tool for it. Isa siya sa mga tools. Yeah. Yun. We can make games as springboard in our class discussions. This is to engage our learners actively because when they're involved, learning by doing principle is applied. Nice. So may pagka Albert Bandura ang explanation nito. Very nice. Learning is an active process, constructivism. I have to be innovative in preparing my lessons. And I think that goes to each and every one of us. Lahat tayo. Regardless kung anong level tinuturo natin. Though, ingat, careful lang sa pagpili ko ng tool. We always contextualize as much as possible. Alright? Yun. I discovered varied online sites that can be utilized this upcoming school year implementing distance learning, which could be helpful in engaging learners and achieve successfully classroom objectives. So, salamat po sa pagbanggit ng classroom objectives kasi you always consider first and foremost objectives mo aside from contextualization of your lessons, objectives. From planning hanggang evaluating. Yeah. Oops. Oh, nice. Here, the next. Balance of teacher's presence, careful planning, sound pedagogy, and instructional tools can help students engage in learning. See? Ang gaganda po ng responses ninyo. Wow. These are very nice insights, realizations, and takeaways. Mhm. Gamification, ito, ano naman, about gamification. Gamification is a good interactive idea that has given to these trying times, but there are some instances that students may feel stressed or annoyed, like in the second activity that we have encountered. Buti po nasabi nyo yan dahil isa sa reactions, no, when you use Kahoot is yung time. Hindi lahat nakapag-participate, ang bilis, and ang may control sa pace is si teacher. Sa quizzes at your own pace, sa Kahoot, kailangan kong pindutin bago tayo mag-proceed. And yung time maikse. So at least nakita to, and this is very well taken point. Thank you. Dami, ang ganda-ganda ng responses. Very nice. These are very nice responses. Alright. So, if we're going to wrap it up, yan. Yan. I always end my sessions with this kasi laging na disregard ang role ng teacher in a perception. The teacher's role is diminished when using technology. So no matter what innovation is on, teachers will never, ever be out of fashion. Hindi. Ikaw pa rin ang best resource material. Whether inside the classroom or flexible learning modalities, you are still the best resource. Ikaw mamimili, ikaw ang gumagawa. Therefore, you are still very crucial, very vital in making the teaching and learning process successful. Okay? So we will never be out of fashion. Alright? And with that, thank you. Stay safe, no? We stay safe. And the challenge is there. Sana nakaambag tayo throughout our session. Um, Kaya natin to, dear teachers, dear educators. Saan man sulok man tayo naaabot nitong webinar na ito, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, abroad, kaya natin to. Thank you. Good afternoon. And that's it. Thank you very much for participating.
Thank you so much, Sir Jeffrey, for the very enlightening and informative discussion you've shared with us this afternoon. So at this point, we will now entertain questions from the comment section.
Sure.
So tingnan natin yung mga nag-comment. So our first question is from
Okay. Ayun, okay.
from Miss Ayla. There are so many things to consider in choosing the right gamification tool for an interactive discussion. Can we also use these tools in an asynchronous setting?
Yes. Yes, pwede. If I may show it to you, um, share ko lang ulit yung screen ko. Yan. Naka-share pa ulit. Alright, there you go. Ayan. So, ito, balik tayo sa quizzes kasi I think mas prefer nyo ito kaysa doon sa second activity natin. Okay. So, kung mapapansin, yan. So, ito yung lista, ito yung activities ko. Then here, if you're using Google Classroom, ayan, you could see here, pwede siya. Pwede siyang ilagay doon. Okay? You could also create a class here. Pero if you're using Google Classroom, pwede. Ilalagay mo lang yung mismong activity na ginawa mo doon sa Google Classroom na yon. Sync mo lang dito. No problem yun. Pwede. Okay? Iyon. Now, subukan natin sa activity kanina. Ayan. So, ang tanong is asynchronous. So, pwede po. Ayan, you assign this activity as your homework. May option po na ganun. Okay? Ayan, kanina ginawa kasi natin live eh. Okay, live siya. Pero you could assign this as homework. Asynchronous yun. Kasi at their own pace sila gagawin. Yun nga lang, kindly set siguro a negotiable date to accomplish para hindi naman mag-overlap sa mga activities mo since asynchronous yun. Para same kayo ng starting date, same kayo ng end date, pero they work the activity at their own pace, making the word asynchronous injustice talaga. Justifiable word asynchronous through your activities and you manage the time correctly. So, ayun po. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sir Jeffrey.
Yes.
So our second question is from Mr. Nisi. Aside from quizzes, Kahoot, and Padlet, what are the other helpful sites that can be used in online teaching? Thank you, God.
Okay. Sige. So, meron ako dito. If I may share to you. Sige. Ibuksan ko lang muna for a while. Okay. And, there. Naglo-load pa siya. So, yung next natin is yung isa sa mga tools natin dito na hindi ko na naisama sa session, though maganda siyang gawin, is Edpuzzle. Okay? So, si Edpuzzle, is a tool, that you incorporate to your asynchronous class. Got Wait, it's loading. Hmm, hmm, okay. Ooh, ay, mag-load. Wait, ang bagal niya mag-load. Sige, tayo na natin. So, aside do sa mga apps na yun, no, forgot to show the list. Pero, tagal niya mag-load. So, Edpuzzle. Okay, so Edpuzzle kasi is you make the videos that you incorporate in your asynchronous class interactive. Oh, sayang lang hindi siya naglo-load pero maganda sa sanang ipakita sa inyo. Actually, I anticipated na may magtatanong aside from these tools, ano ba yung pwede? Um, Edpuzzle would be yan. Edpuzzle would be a good option. Yan, make any video your lesson. So Edpuzzle is a good resource for that. And we're talking about engagement. Yan, it engages students kasi um, and also accountability kasi once you created your videos, actually may mga may mga sample naman na dito. I would like to show it to you. Mag-login lang ako. Yan. Pakita ko lang sa inyo yung sample. Hmm. Oh, wala pa ako. Meron ako nito ah. Hmm. Wait, I'm having trouble here. Nakagawa na ako before ng Edpuzzle. Ay, nako. Meron na. Yeah. Since wala na yata. So, yeah. So, here yung Edpuzzle. So, gawa na ulit ako ng bagong account. So, here's Edpuzzle. So, as you can see, may content ka dito, may school curriculum. Then, yan. So, tatanungin kayo kung anong school. Yun, meron. Then, yung subject. Yan, start teaching. So, basically, yan siya. Alright. Yung Edpuzzle, nakalink siya sa iba-ibang sources with videos as content. Like, Number File, Crash Course, TED Talks, Nat Geo, Khan Academy, which is also a very good resource tool if you want to learn at your own pace. Math, science, and other subjects pa. Maraming course, may mga courses din dyan. YouTube, of course, we're very familiar to that. And sa Edpuzzle din, kasi meron din siya mga videos na. Okay? So, add content tayo. Ayan. Either you could create, upload, student project, or new folder. Magawa tayong video. Ayan. So, you will see here yan. Pipili kayo if may mga available na kasi siyang videos depending on your lesson. So, meron sa Edpuzzle, meron sa YouTube. Ayan, you could see. Search, if you search tayo. Let's say here. Ayan. So, meron. Tapos, play natin siya. Pili tayo ng mas maikse. There. Okay. Now, before we play, kung napapansin nyo dito sa gilid, okay, at certain times, no, at certain time period dun sa video, merong questions. Okay? That would make the student respond first before proceeding sa next parts ng video. Making the video truly absorbed in a way by the learner. So, yan. Makikita nyo rin siya dito. Okay. Play na natin. Ayan. So, kung napansin, the video stop, then may question. Checking your understanding dun sa previous parts na yon. So, syempre, sagot natin dyan is, ano na, kung tama yan, kung tapos ka na, you're decided, submit mo, may option kung pwedeng skip o hindi, depende sa'yo. Rewatch para maintindihan mo ulit, no problem. Tama. Then, you can continue. So, yun ang kinagandaan sa Edpuzzle. It makes your videos interactive. And I will use this. I tried to use this before, pero we'll try to use this again in a much larger period of time for the first semester. Interactive. So you could create also your own videos, pero meron ng available for your own, for quicker resource. So, yan. Okay? Sige. Yan. So, yun yung isa, Edpuzzle. Alright.
Thank you so much, Sir Jeffrey. So, yung susunod na question is from Ma'am Gina Rocco. Sir, if Padlet and Menti are apps for presentations and classes, can you always use it as free all the time po? Or it has limitations for use? Thanks po.
Oh, okay. If Menti and Padlet, okay, good question. Sige. If we are going to check, magandang tanong yun kasi dyan papasok yung concept ng mga apps na merong freemium, meaning free siya per certain number of time. You can use all of the functions for free, pero after a certain period of time, may bayad na. Okay. Gaya ng Mentimeter. Mentimeter, hindi ako nakakamali, Mentimeter, meron siyang limit. Ang Padlet, hanggang 5. Eh, sige. I'll just load Padlet. Tayo lang natin, load ko lang yung Padlet para makita natin yung limit niya. Okay. Dami. Maraming questions. Ayun. Ayan, okay. Sige, share ko ulit. Tcharan! Yun. Okay, so ito pong Padlet. Okay. To respond dun sa question, kasi gagawa ko, let's say, I'll make a Padlet. Sasabihin sa akin yan, Padlet limit reached. Sagad na. So I need now to pay. So that explains freemium. Okay? Libre siya for a certain number of times, months. Sige. Dito sa case ito, hanggang 5 Padlet. Pero to continue, para maging makakamakuha mo lahat ng features na to, 99 a month. Okay? So yun yung ibig sabihin natin. Ngayon paano? Anong solution natin para makagamit pa rin tayo ng Padlet without deleting mga ginawa mong Padlets before? Archive mo siya. Then, gawa ka ulit. You could now make. Okay? Ngayon, allow me to explore this to you. Kanina ginawa natin is wall. Okay, for the activity, meron tayong wall. Canvas, kung gusto mo mag-interact, no? Scatter mo, mag-group ka ng mga materials if ever you need to use that to interact. Stream, kung parang gusto mo parang Facebook feed yung itsura, feed siya, nak-scroll. Grid, okay, similar to wall. pero naka-row siya in boxes, mas organized. Shelf, mas organized yung organization ng content in columns. Back channel, parang convo, parang conversation. Map, kung kailangan ng map. And then timeline, kung medyo history ang topics mo. So, marami kang options. Okay? So, yun. Um, sa Mentimeter naman, sige. Sa Mentimeter. Sa Mentimeter naman, ayun. Okay. So, kung nakikita natin dito, nakabeta yung isang bagong feature, Mentimo. And then, if you're going to add slides, dun may limit eh. If I'm not mistaken. So, add tayo. Yan. Let's try to add sa Q&A. And pwede pa. Now, hindi ko lang sure kung nag-update na sila ng features pero alam ko hanggang 5 presentations na din sa Mentimeter, if I'm not mistaken, before. Oo. Ayan. Yun. So, dumami yung bago niyang features, no? You could now create a big slide, ayan, dumami na rin siya. Pero, if going back to sa question, 5 Mentimeter presentations, pero dito, kailangan mo talaga mag-delete bago makagawa ulit. Okay? So, next question po tayo.
Thank you, sir. So, we have question from
Ayan,
Mr.
siya.
Al. Ay, wait.
Offline.
Are there any apps
Ayan.
that can be used
Offline.
offline?
Sige. Kung offline, okay. Kung offline siya, okay. Nakita ko pa offline for a while. Sige, sana mag-load. So, yeah. Meron. Okay. Natin ko na siya mag-load, sorry. Pero meron. Tagal mag-load. So, here, we have itong FET. Okay. Here. So, nantay ko na mag-load. So, FET. So, FET Colorado. Ang FET kasi is an interactive simulation that you could use both offline and online. I would love to show you the list that I have, pero it's not yet curated. Pero based on what I recall, ito, one of the good examples. No? So, meron yan. It's over 700 million simulations delivered for physics, chem, math, science, and earth science, and bio. Marami yan. Okay? So, maraming simulations. So, tingnan natin. Marami kasi. So, yan. So, you can see here, yung subject and yung lessons. So, pinisa natin yung math. So, ito yun. Isa. Ito. May favorite ako dito eh. Okay. Ayan. Here. So, nice. So, yan lang natin. I-exercise natin yung offline. Sinasabi niyo yung question kanina. Hindi kasi yun. So, meron download. Okay? So, you could download this. If I'm not mistaken, this is an HTML file. HTML file siya. So, pwede siya i-play. Yan, HTML file. So, pwede. So, ang topic niya is balance, proportional reasoning, and torque. Natin. Pwede siyang online, pwede siyang offline. Iba't offline. So, tingnan lang natin. Hmm. Yan. Loading pa siya. Ayan. So, may introduction. Tingnan natin. Ayan. Tingnan natin. Oh, 5 kilograms. And 10 kilograms. Forces of objects. Ayan. So, nakikita nyo, interactive siya kasi control with the elements. Yan. Gusto mo na complete position here. Ayun. Okay. So, yan siya kung nagamit. So, balancing up siya. Okay. So, yan. One tool, if I that I can remember, that can be used. Marami pa. Okay. One more tool. Oo. Yan. Kung gusto mo maging troll, I have a tool for you. Yan. Sige. It's very nice. Ayan. Gusto mo na maging troll? Oh. Legit ito. This is actually a great game. It's bad news. If you play the game, ayan. So, dito ang question is credibility, pataasan ng likes, gusto mo maging troll. Yan, maganda yan. So, nakadepende sa pipiliin mo kung ano yung pace ng game. See? So, kung nakita nyo, ayan, medyo ang baba ng credibility ko, pero naging 8 ang followers ko. Yan, but how? And, tingnan nyo, you have to fake an official Twitter account or impersonate someone important. So, if I would choose to fake, madami siya. And the game, okay? So, yun yung dalawa so far that I can remember. I need to refresh on my tools. Pero, yeah.
Thank you, Sir Jeffrey.
Yes,
So,
po. Meron ba?
meron pa po. So,
You.
yung last question na lang po natin ay
Yes,
from
sige pa.
Sir D. Kahorao. How about for
Oh.
authentic assessment? Can you suggest or recommend any apps that can be used to assess students' outputs or performance in an activity?
Oh, nice. That's very nice question. Yeah, flash ulit. How about for authentic assessment? Mm. How about for authentic assessment? Sige. For authentic assessment, wait, I will recall. Meron. Okay. Kaya binabasa ko rin yung ibang question dito sa gilid. Sige, sagutin ko yung isa dun sa maximum number of players sa quizzes and Kahoot maya-maya. Pero here, how about for authentic assessment? Can you suggest or recommend any apps? Ang pinakamalapit that I could suggest is yung simulations. Kasi nga, those tools are based in actual scenarios. Like, itong yung kanina pinakita ko, yung get bad news, wherein trolling, creating account, if you want to teach credibility, yun, pwede. Or downloading simulation tools that would explain concepts. Now, if we're going to use tools for assessing students' outputs or performance, not necessarily app siya, gaya ng pinakita natin kanina o diniscuss natin kanina, pero one app siguro that will help you assess is, aside dun sa mga games na yon, would be your learning management systems. Kasi kung mag-a-assess ka rin naman, that would be useful. Pero so far, to answer the question, as far as I can remember, simulations would be useful. Pero it would be best matched. I think this is in my personal take. That would be best matched with your criteria in assessing. Oo. Kasi there might be an instance that you will rely on the tool itself, pero may part ka pa rin, and I think your criteria or your rubric in assessing plus the app or tool would be the solution for the time being, no, in assessing outputs or performance-based activities. Yeah. And siguro sagutin ko na rin itong isang question na nakita ko dito. Ilan po yung maximum number of players sa quizzes and Kahoot? Okay. If I'm not mistaken, wala po pa sa 500 sa quizzes. Sa Kahoot, 100 kasi free account na eh. Ang Kahoot, marami silang ginawang changes. No? So sa quizzes, alam ko, 500. Yeah, pero ang challenge there is connection. Can you host a large number? Kung sa class size naman, well, kaya naman mag-host ng ideal number natin sa class, pero yung hundreds for large activities, webinars, that would be a challenge. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, Sir
Sure.
Jeffrey. So as much as we want to entertain and answer all your questions and read all your comments at this moment, we will limit it for now.
Yeah.
So with that, this ends our Q&A portion. So Ateneo ICTC presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Sir Jeffrey C. Beltran for his invaluable time as a resource speaker for this afternoon's webinar session on gamification and engagement tools for online learning. Thank you so much, Sir Jeffrey.
Thank you very much. Salamat sa pagkakataon. I think tama ako. Ito yata yung last yung webinar. Ewan ko, yung sabi sa akin.
Ay, may susunod pa po. So,
may susunod pa.
May hinihintay pa po kami.
Oh, yun. Okay.
Yes.
Pero yun, ito, thank you very much. I think this is my first time to at least be involved in this kind of webinar session na may show and tell, demonstration, and I enjoyed. If I may, I will shout out lang to some of the participants. I know some of them are meron student teachers, merong former classmates of mine. Thank you very much for watching, for cooperating and participating. Kung napansin po ninyo, the presentation would not be successful without your responses. No? Ayun. So maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon. Sana hindi pa po ito yung huli.
Sure po. I-invite na lang kami, sir, kung kailan.
Ay, salamat. Salamat.
Thank you so much, Sir Jeffrey.
Thank you.
So we also like to thank our viewers for staying with us throughout the session. For the first installment of our ICT short-term online courses, we are offering 3 modules for teachers that will aid their online mode of teaching. Our pre-registration is now open at tinyurl.com/ictconline1. So, yung 3 modules po, ang kada module po is 2 hours per session. So, you can register po dyan sa tinyurl.com/ictconline1. So, 250 pesos only lang po siya per module. Yan po. So, stay tuned for our upcoming webinar. So, yung mga hindi pa po nagsusubscribe and nagla-like ng Facebook page namin, i-like nyo na po ngayon and mag-subscribe na kayo ngayon kasi yung mga future events po namin, dun namin usually pinopost sa Facebook page namin po. Salamat. So, your certificates are ready. Kindly accomplish the online evaluation flashed on screen. The online evaluation will be closing at 5 p.m. this afternoon. So, paki-accomplish na po yung evaluation form. Pumunta lang po kayo sa tinyurl.com/evalwebinar7. Again, thank you everyone. Kindly like our Facebook page at Ateneo ICTC, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on our free webinar sessions and upcoming training online. See you again and goodbye.